to send just kind of a quick video explaining one of the strategies that we will be working with this week. Sometimes it's a little bit more challenging, and it's called the Make a 10 strategy or Making a 10 strategy. And the purpose for this is to allow students to work on their mental math and be able to solve problems very quickly in their head. So it's going to look like a lot of steps in the beginning, but our end goal is to be able to have the students do this in their head without having to write it out, and then to be able to apply this strategy when we start adding larger numbers, and they'll be able to use their mental math with larger numbers. So we're just kind of setting the foundation here for this. So it'll seem a little strenuous in the beginning, but once the kids understand the strategy, they'll be able to do it in their head more quickly. So we're going to start with 8 plus 4 as our number sentence, and I'm using my number 10 frames here, my 10 frames. So I have 8 on the top and 4 on the bottom. So what I want to think is I want to make a 10, just what the strategy says. So I'm going to look at this larger number here and I'm going to think, I've got 8. How many more would I need to get a complete 10? And using the 10 frames makes that very easy because I see I only have 2 empty spots. So I'm going to actually fill those last 2 empty spots with part of this 4 down here. So I'm going to move 2 up here. So this is where the magic is happening. I'm going to take part of the 4 and move it with the 8. Now I have a complete 10. And then you'll see I've got 2 left over. So I'm going to come over here to my number sentence and show you what I did. So what I did is I broke apart this 4, or sometimes I will use the word decompose. So we decomposed the 4. And I broke it apart into 2 and 2. I used 2 of the 4 and moved it up to the top so I could make a full 10, and then I had 2 left over. So I'm going to show that here, how I broke the 4 apart. And this is called, you can sometimes refer to it as a fact family or a number bond. So you can see I broke apart or decomposed my 4 into 2 and 2. And because I did that, switch colors here, my 8 and this 2 made a complete 10. But I'm not quite done because I still have the leftover 2 to add. But because I'm adding it with a 10, I can do that really quickly in my head. And I know that 10 plus 2 is 12. And I can see that very easily over here because I have a 10 and I have a 2, which is 12. So 8 plus 4, the sum would be 12. So it's really important that the students see that the sums are exactly the same. So both number sentences, the value is the same. Nothing changed. All we did was break apart the 4 so that we could make a 10 with the 8, and we just added what was left over. So one thing that you want to be careful about that I see year after year with my students is they might actually try to break apart this 4 into any number bond. So you might see them try to break apart the 4 as, let's say, a 3 and maybe a 1, because 3 plus 1 is 4. So the number bond, is correct because 3 plus 1 is 4. However, it won't work for the make a 10 strategy because 8 and 3 would not give me a 10, and 8 and 1 wouldn't even give me a 10. So you have to make sure that the number bonds that they're making when they're decomposing or breaking apart this smaller addend, you want to make sure that they are indeed actually making a 10 as the strategy, as the name of the strategy says. So I hope that was helpful. So like I said, kids will be working on that this week. So you'll probably see some homework coming home this week with this strategy. And if you have any questions or anything, just reach out, email, dojo message, whatever you need. Okay, have a great day.